outside of Felicity, who's now back in third. Intensify and Rupert's Promise. Then comes Elusive Melody, and Zenyatta is closing nicely in the center of the track. Caramel Coffee has the lead, but you better take a look at Zenyatta to run by and do it nicely. Caramel Coffee left in second. Zenyatta.
Hello, it's Bob Pandolfo on Sunday, July 7th, 2024, with another edition of Power Pace with Pandy and Morning Maidens. And I have a maiden race today at Belmont at the Big A, the 9th race today. Saratoga opens Thursday, by the way. Today's the closing day at Belmont. So in the 9th race, it's a $40,000 maiden claiming race at a mile and 16th on the turf. It's a New York bred race. The horse I picked second is Quiet Continental. Ran okay in an open claiming race in debut, then was overmatched on dirt in the maiden special weight. They tried it, and the horse didn't race that badly. I mean, she went a mile and an eighth and dueled for the lead and tired. But now a big barn change to Linda Rice with one of her go-to jockeys up. And this race, the first race in January 28th at Tampa Bay, some of the fillies that came out of this race, they raced pretty well. So I think it was a decent field. The horse to beat, the horse I put third actually, just on overall turf figures and dropping in for a tag the first time, getting blinkers. Alette d'Oro is going to be the favorite here. I think that's pretty obvious. So that horse I think probably will run well. Then you have a horse who I put fourth, Pinstripe Pizzo. Raced okay when she was in $40,000 claimers. She's getting blinkers. She has the top jockey. And then the other horse who is a factor here, I picked fifth, is Starlight Dancer, stretching out for the first time, getting blinkers. Ran okay in her first two starts, and she's second off the layoff. She could improve. The horse I made best bet is the 3-horse, and this is my top pick, Superstar Susan. So this horse, ran twice on dirt and really didn't run well at all. Flashed a little speed here, but on turf she closed okay here. Don't forget, this is when she's a 2-year-old, and this was last September. She was, made a pretty nice finish. And then over here, they tried, they brought her back off a 6-month layoff, and $40,000 claiming race. And she made a big move, racing 4 wide on the turn. She passed horses quickly, gobbled up ground. I like the way she moved. And she did tire in the stretch, losing by 3.5 lengths. But that was her first start in 6 months. And making such a big move like that took the starch out of her. I mean, she had a right to tire, having not raced in 6 months. And the thing is that this pedigree is really a long distance pedigree. It's a route pedigree. It's a good turf pedigree. Anytime you see Danzig, that's always a very good turf influence. And the same thing with Tappet. Both of these horses too, Tappet and the sire, Hard Spun, were horses that did very well at longer distances. Hard Spun was a terrific horse. I mean, he was a versatile horse. He was also a good sprinter actually. But his protege, the horses that he's sired tend to run better going long, and the same thing with Tappet. As you can see here with the average win distances, 7.6 for Tappet, 7.4 for Hard Spun. So anytime you see 7 or higher, it's a route horse. And so these are pretty high overall. And of course, both these horses, that's the kind of horses that they produce. So this time she's getting the longer distance which she's bred for. They're going to have to kind of reserve her move a little bit. You can't just blow it out like this. But she's second off a layoff, and second time Lasix, second time in for a tag. I think could be good value here. It is a pretty wide open race. But if you look at my systems, now here's power pace. If I sort on speed, on average speed, Alette d'Oro, who I think will be the favorite, has the top rating of 78, but Superstar Susan is second highest with 74, and power pace gives her 131 late, which usually, even though she hasn't gone long yet, and this is based on sprint races, that's usually an indication, if it has a good high number, that the horse could do pretty well stretching out. And then on Formula Pro, on stamina, it ranked at 1, 2, and then the 7 is ranked second. But for a horse that's 8-1, she had a pretty good line here. First on pace, second on fraction, and again, second on average speed. And this averages 3 races, although she only had two turf races. So in this case, it would only have averaged 2 because she only had 2 turf races. But she has, a pretty good profile. So Superstar Susan, I think she has a chance at a price. The 1 and the 2, I think, are the 2 main keys. It's a pretty wide open race, though, so we'll see. Remember, I'd appreciate it if you subscribe to my channel or click on notifications, click on like. All that is very helpful. At Saratoga and at Del Mar, I'm sure I'll have some morning maidens. There'll be a lot of good 2-year-olds coming out, and of course some 3-year-olds coming back that are still maidens. So anyway, enjoy the races today, and thanks for tuning in.